I'll tell you a surfing story. And this is the rare surf story that has no oceans or surfboards in it, because it's about a guy who spent almost his whole life surfing situations and relationships, never getting his feet wet, never falling in, never over his head, never breathless, always on top of the situation and never of it. You know what I mean? And he almost got to the end of his life without ever getting his feet wet. And then, as is so often the case when we talk about hearts being startled awake, it was a kid who knocked him off his board and into the sea, where hearts get hammered and startled and shivered and whole. But I get ahead of myself. The guy's name was Pete, and he had been a terrific athlete as a kid, and then he was a terrific hand with money and investments. And he made boats load of money, and he got lots of girls, and he traveled everywhere and did every dashing thing that you can imagine. But after a while, even the coolest girls would gently disentangle themselves, because, as one of them said with real affection, "You never get tangled, Pete." And in the end, we see that you don't want to bother, and even someone who wants to just have fun can't stay long. You know what I mean? He did know what she meant, which is what stung. He got all the way to age 50 like this, looking cool on the outside and not getting birthday cards from anyone. And no one except the doorman at his condo even knowing when he was sick with the flu. And finally, he sold his condo in Boston and bagged his lucrative Master of the Universe job, and he moved to Poipu, and he bought a condo on the beach, and he spent his time paddle surfing. But nothing really changed. And he had girls, but no lovers. And he had companions, but no friends. You know what I mean? But finally, what happened was that he was driving drunk and he got busted. And during the whole process of getting that fixed, he met a detective who showed him the world of meth babies. The kids whose parents were addicts and dumped them, or burned them with cigarettes, or dangled them off freeway overpasses, evil stuff like that. And there was a kid named Kimmo who was 4, and both parents were dead in meth explosions. And this kid says to Pete one day at the cop orphanage, "How come you never look at me with both your eyes?" And Pete says, that was the moment when everything cracked. He says it wasn't like in the movies where there's some swelling music and the lights get brighter. In fact, he says he wanted to slap the kid for being rude, but he didn't. And eventually he adopted Kimmo. And it's a long story, and there is no happy ending either, because they argue like hell, and neither one of them can cook worth 2 cents. And yet, and Kimmo, he just got his face tattooed like a Maori for some reason, which sent Pete into a full rage, like you read about. But he's not surfing anymore. That's the point. You know what I mean?